Looking like a field of propeller-shaped trees, these farms have been sprouting all over the world. The propellers are not some kind of experiment, but are in fact massive wind turbines. Using the power of the wind, the massive rotors turn, driving even bigger turbines to generate sustainable electricity. It's a trick that Free State farmers have been using for centuries. With the demand for electricity ever on the increase in South Africa, the need for new power stations has become almost critical. However, the world has shifted global priorities, concentrating on reducing carbon emissions and having a low-carbon future. The current reality is that Eskom generates approximately 95% of South Africa's electricity, and of that, 93% is generated through coal power stations. The question was asked, how does Eskom balance power generation versus carbon emissions? And how does it do it in a viable manner? From 2005 to 2009, the number of wind farms grew at an annual rate of 27% worldwide. In Europe, annual wind power additions have now exceeded any other type of power source growth. Before the age of coal, wind power dominated the earth. The only challenge with wind, though, is how it's caused. Solar radiation from the sun heats the earth, but unevenly causing areas of high pressure and low pressure. Air molecules move from the high pressure to the low pressure regions, and we experience their movement as kinetic energy, or wind. Wind turbines then transform this kinetic energy into electrical energy. To answer the original question of balancing carbon emissions with power generation, solar power and wind power then become a viable solution. Eskom has thus embarked in the medium term on the creation of several wind and solar projects. In 2003, Eskom commissioned and ran a 3.16 megawatt demonstration wind farm at Clearpierville using 3 different types of wind turbine. It remains in operation today. The key lessons learned from the wind farm at Clearpierville informed the decision to pursue opportunities for harnessing wind energy in South Africa. Project Sarah was born. In 2009, the Department of Water Affairs gave its authorization for the use of local water for construction on site. This was after the environmental impact assessment surveys had been approved in 2008. Located just north of the Olifants River near Kukunap in the Western Cape, the site has been carefully chosen. Equipment, construction materials and other supplies will be transported from Saldanha along the N7. But what of the farm itself? Sarah is designed as a 100 megawatt wind farm and is to act as a catalyst for renewable energy development in South Africa. The area is a barren flat space, ideal for wind turbines. It sits at just 78 meters above sea level, and the average height of the nearest object that can block wind is a mere 30 centimeters of scrub-like bush. In other words, it's perfect. Designing the wind farm was no easy matter. What do you get when you have a field of giant rotating rotor blades? Lots of turbulence. To mitigate this, the turbines are purposefully built to minimize the wake effect. That is the choppy wind that these types of farms produce. This is one of the reasons why the project is limited to only 100 megawatts of power. To increase it, the space required would also need to increase. Interestingly, with this wake effect consideration came an unexpected bonus. The original capacity factor of the plant was 24.7%. But by shifting the southwest boundary by a mere 300 meters and remodeling the hub heights of the turbines to be higher than normal, the capacity factor has improved to roughly 27.5%, a remarkable 3% increase. Once completed, the power generated by the Sarah wind farm will enter into the national grid via the Juno substation on a 132 kilovolt line. Building the Sarah project will take some time, but given that it is based on the highly successful Clearpierville site and that the capacity is already being improved by 3%, its foundation is solid. Having achieved all its compliance, permits for development, water rights and environmental surveys, Sarah is in full construction mode and will serve the South African public as an excellent example of efficient, renewable and carbon-reduced power generation of decades to come, and will stand as the herald of a new age, an environmentally conscious, clean energy generation with Eskom at the forefront.